All right. Today I'm going to be reading through some of my poems, and then I have, I think, two short stories in here. It's a total of 30, so I probably won't say all of them, but I started writing in about 2023. I think this is my last note. It says, first note says October 26, 2023. I might have adjusted or like kind of moved them up a little bit, but I think it was around then was when I started writing poems. I think so, about 3 years ago, a little less, 2.5 years ago, maybe. Um, First one's called A Kentucky Fall. It's about a time I lived in Lexington, Kentucky. You see all the horse farms outside the city. Um, they zone off most of the city or suburbs, not suburbs, but cities surrounding it, areas surrounding it, for horse farms. So when you drive around, you just see horse farms, green grass, and then it's really nice. Really cool place, Lexington. All right, Kentucky Fall. The crimson trees rest alongside the golden sun. The grass, full of golden orange, filled with leaves as the winds blow through the trees. Red with apples, gives Mother Nature as she tends to her garden. The whiskey flows down into the copper kettles, the sweet smell of cider brewing in the background. Horses play and they frolic to and fro, their mane, dark as night, shines in the moonlight. The day is done and all have rest, all are tired from a hard day's work. The spirits shine bright all through the night in everyone, so all is right. And the spirits, one could be God, but also obviously Kentucky bourbon spirits. Bourbon Trail is like 15 minutes south of Lexington, about. It's kind of where it starts. Over by, what's that town called? I think it's Versailles. Is it Versailles? Can't remember what the actual city's called. No, not Travelers Rest. That's in South Carolina. Anyways, it starts about 15 minutes south of the city, but the Bourbon Trail's right there, so that's why I kind of go off spirits for that. Some of these poems I haven't read since I've written them, since I wrote them. Some of them may not be very good, but I like the last one a little bit. It was pretty nice, yeah. All right, poem about seasons. The waves were rising and the snow was falling in the northeastern typical winter Sunday. The waves crashing against the white rocks with the winter wonderland beginning to take hold. Fall in Maine might be a sight to see, but in the harbor of Boston, a wintry mix brings one peace of mind to know that everything will be all right. What then proceeds to happen turns into a winter wonderland from the depths of hell. Snow-covered icy roads and cars go together as well as hot oil and water. Snow-covered icy roads and cars go together as well as hot oil and water. The dreaminess of horse-drawn carriages through the snow is past. Pilots and delays are the new norm. All right, I guess that's 2023. I guess maybe it's around a snowstorm, me remembering a snowstorm and kind of realizing, well, because I grew up in the South, so I never really grew up with snow. So every time it snowed, it was just havoc. There was nobody driving on the roads. All right, and then here's one in French. Around then is when I kind of was getting back into French. Around then I started getting back into German too, a little bit of Spanish as well. But French was always, I think that was the first, other than Spanish in school, French was the first language I picked up on my own. I never really could master the languages with the grammar. The grammar always gave me the hardest part. It's called Les Miroirs de la Vie. J'ai vu l'écran avec mes yeux. J'ai dit les couleurs sont les mieux. Vert ou rouge comme les arbres, noir et blanc comme les barbes. Un film transporte nous comme une voiture, un Peugeot pour l'esprit et la nourriture. Jean Cocteau ou Alfred Hitchcock, Anthony Bourdain ou Champoc. Les films et les cuisines sont similaires pour les pauvres ou les millionnaires. It's in parentheses. Les recettes ou films, in parentheses, les recettes ou films. Film. And ooh. Is it ooh? And? Oh no, ooh is or. Le recette au film jeune ou antique n'importe, d'un célèbre ou d'un débutant. Le film et la cuisine sont les clés de la vie. N'est pas ma seule, mais meilleure avec d'amis. Recherche et recherche, c'est une passion pour le plaisir et pour un bon temps. Okay. See, I always liked the way French sounded in poems, and German, a lot more than English. I don't know, just maybe because it sounds foreign to me, but I don't know, it always has a funny feeling. All right, this one is just called Poem, but I think I'm gonna put Kupferfehlen. Kupferfehlen. And put done. That way I know that I've already made this into one of my videos for all of these. That way I don't redo these, because that would be weird. Okay. Did I do that? No, I didn't do that one yet. Why did I put done for that? Anyways. All right. Kupferfehlen. Kupferfallen. Kupferfehlen. Wann Sie sehen alle die Köpfe fehlen, nach zu seinen Betten, mit Gedanken flohen weh, tief von ihren Herzen, jetzt die wandern in der Welt, so weit für die Personen, klar und scharf seid ihr Gedanken, so kalt ist auf die Nerven. Und es gibt ein breites Tanz von allen die grünen Bäume, von dem höchsten Bergen sieht wie eine alte Träume. See, I just like the way it rhymes. The words, I think it's a lot easier to rhyme in German, just because I think a lot of the words end in kind of like the same endings. So yeah. All right. Here's just a short tongue twister. Je voudrais manger le pain demain, entends? Which means I would like to eat the bread tomorrow. Do you understand? Okay. Oh, that's funny. All right. And this is should I stay or should I go? Just kind of giving some of these names as I go because I realize some of these don't have names. All right. Heads or tails, where should I go? They can wonder, but no one will know. Not even he with choices of three knows where he will be most definitely. Nights of wondering how he survived, only to realize that he can thrive. Different places with different people, over obstacles and jumping steeples. The food ingrained of cheap Chinese withdraws from the memory bank with ease. Green grass shines brightly from the morning sun. The rolling hills of sanctuaries with horses having fun. The brand new desire of a whimsical try makes one young again, yearning to fly. How close can you get to the pyromaniac sun without faltering nor turning on anyone? What is life holding so tightly a secret, he wonders. The breathtaking views aren't a sight you can't see next time. What risks to take without making enormous blunders? The world is vast, yet there aren't enough thrills to be thine. Wars near boresome, and more people are abhorsome. The fight-happy dandy takes pleasure in causing trouble. For what's wrong with casting dull stones into some useless rubble? The Mad Hatter just laughs and cats' eyes just roll. The pigeon will fly and donkeys will just annoy. The crow will just crow as it's perched on its nest. The pelican just swallows as it gulps the food down. The red-faced one will continue being a clown. What night brings is only some rest, ready for the day to get put to the test. Treasures of feelings and cheerful delight await us all to latch on to the string of a kite. Fly away, young challenger, fly like the wind, casting all away all your sins. Drink longer the depths of the lake, coastal waters bear the fruits of the gate. That was when I think was trying to figure out where to go. That was in 2024, so I guess 2024, I was thinking about moving. I was living in Louisiana for about, I think that was coming up on 3 years. Where was I picking? Greenville? There were a couple other cities. Birmingham, Mobile, mostly in the south. I think one of them was Colorado Springs. Seemed like nice, right next to the mountains and stuff like that. But I don't know where else I could have really figured out where to go. But anyways, life not published. Oh, I can put that. life. All right, this one's a little longer. The calluses of life can feel cold as the winter's wind. The wind may be blowing hard on the mountain's peak, yet alone a bighorn sheep will walk on hard stones. Bleeding he may be, but he trugs on the road and staying to himself. The hard life of a trudging man brings out the best in him. For life of ease only brings a man to waste. A pineapple, as sweet as delicious as it may be, will only rot and give the most unpleasant taste if left untouched. A flower will wilt and the evergreens will go bare. No matter the conditions, the age of the tree only will increase in age or fall to waste. The tree trunks expanded in the road are a sight to see. The fleeting midnight train leaves only a past to me. Left in the dust of the suburban wasteland, no one to care for it, certainly no timberland. As the midnight bell takes a lonely toll, no one to hear it, not a single soul. The garbage produced is in grinding heaps, no one it will worry into their resounding sleeps. A full moon will come down in the end. The light once bright will dim once again. The bright young burst of energy has drained. The wolves have left, the mind contained. The wolves have left, the mind contained. Down and dreary has the day come to pass, no more fury and no more exciting sass. The pain is back and the world just seems flat. No more trees are left, just a dead doormat. Gone is the wind of change to come, just the same old bottom shelf rum. The ebbs and flows of the waves from daylight life only set out to ponder the everlasting strife. The electricity and the bolts are gone, no more humming and no more song. For the downfall of the mortal highs are only met with the most depressing sighs. I think that started off with alcohol addiction. It's kind of like how it goes from brightness to dullness. But yeah, it's a common theme in my poems. All right, the light. When the lights are turned down low and you are needing to go, say one last bye while you can. A new day will come tomorrow and you can make a joy of it then. For life's fleeting moments can hopefully come back once again. Having a grand old time may be hard on a back-breaking dime, yet when you're down and out, think of the men who died in the mines to let you enjoy a minute of peace listening to Beethoven. How about the blood, sweat, and tears that would pour out from their pores? Not a heater in sight or a cold bath to come back to. The weather and the rain may not be a factor now, yet it mattered back then whether you had to plow a field of golden grain or a vineyard of golden grapes. A day of slacking and putting it off would be too late. Why would the cattle wait a day more to get some hay? It's too cold to go out, you shout, yet there's harder ways to earn your pay. Gratitude must be kept within you like a pianist's soul, ready to reach within their favorite memories of old, into a burning light full of fire and brighter than Alaskan gold. Can you see the magician do his dance on the keys? Sights and sounds emit like flashes of lightning on barren trees, full of sound and bringing one's senses down to earth, yet they're filled more of life. An exceptional wind swept out of the trife. Slowly their performance comes to an end, the pianist prancing with fire. No more left to be said or heard, so please admire. For they create the sound that sends men's souls into battle, a horn of victory or a panpiper uplifting one to take the saddle. Charging now, you hold fast to your horse, ready for anything. Your voice may be hoarse, full of burning desire to run, not wanting to wait. The road is tough, but with luck, carry the weight. How spring has sprung in one's twisted mind. You found a diamond in the rough who waited to be mined. Now you found your lightning bolt of steel, beyond your guard for their robbers ready to steal. One's happiness can go on and on. The switch may be turned off just as quick. With good luck, you may take it back, slick, as you avoid the devil's idleness of doom. One to be afraid isn't near ready to bloom. Now carry on, young stallion, forward march. Alright, I said that wrong. That's it. Now carry on, young stallion, forward march. I guess that's it, just enjoying the simple things in life, like piano music or something. Not or something, but yeah. That one I liked. I'll put that as, like, I think it was my favorite one I've done so far. Alright. There's a little... I have 30 of these, so... And one of them's a short story, so I don't think I'll read the short story, because that's a whole nother video. I'm going to put timestamps on these, so it's kind of... yeah. Alright, Louisiana morning. The rose seems to bloom in the morning, in tune with the melody that the birds sing. The cat who was roaming all through the night now rests in the shadow of the oak tree, snug and tight. The willows who carry the moss with the utmost grace gleam bright with the rays of the morning sun's young face. Aromas begin to awaken the once dormant senses. The sweet smell of garlic reaches far past the white picket fences. Sunday morning bring out the late sleepers. Rubbing their eyes, they open their peepers. Down the stairs they come to a room with a view, windows all around to see the blue hues. Towering trees hold tight to the cascading leaves, yet the leaves fall down with the normal autumn breeze. Dionysus nods kindly to these heartwarming souls. Prosecco glides lightly down their throat with feelings of old. That's just a nice little thing about Louisiana. A lot of people drink early in the morning, so it's kind of normal to have Prosecco in the morning. All right. Diewald. Here's another German poem that I wrote. Did I actually say a German poem already? Yeah. Also, Diewald. Mein Vater hat mir gesagt, die alte Geschichte über Hans und Gretel, so schönen Gesichten. Da kommt mir auch ein trauriger Gedichte. Die Hexe tief in der Wand singt ein schönes Gesang. Sie trinkt viel Wein und warum sie fühlt so fein. Spanisch, die beiden könnten sie nicht verstanden. Cocinar con el fuego, los niños son sabrosos. Sus padres no está aquí, pero la sangre venía ahora. Die beiden kommen ohne Verzweiflung oder Angst, doch das Wasser kommt mit Kümmel und der Zimt. Sieht lecker aus, die Kinder sagen, ja, das stimmt. Das Wasser geht heißer in jedes Moment. Wir haben unseren Weg verlaufen zu Hause. Können wir hier haben eine kleine Pause? Ja, bitteschön, ich mache super. Sehr schön. Das ist ein großes Kessel, größer als ein Sessel. Ja, es ist wundervoll nach dem Jagd, wenn du hab's gefragt. Brr, 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 brr. Hören Sie das Wasser kochen. Brr, 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 brr. Hören Sie das Wasser kochen. Jetzt, mein Kind, kommen wir zu Ende. Die Hexe lag so böse. Die beiden haben gesagt, ha, 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 ha. Jetzt kommen Sie zu der Nacht. Mit einem Schlag kommt von der brave Hans. Die Hexe kann nicht mehr singen. Die Geschichte war kurz und jetzt haben wir bekommen, mit die Hexe in das Wasser schwamm, danach dem großen Schlag. Okay, so I know a lot of the grammar wasn't necessarily correct as I was reading it, especially when it comes to könnten wir haben eine kleine Pause would be correctly könnten wir eine Pause haben. But it didn't rhyme, so I just kind of adjusted it as it rhymed. That's about Hans and Gretel, so I mean, yeah, kind of said it in the beginning, but yeah, kind of funny. All right, Stille Nacht. I don't know, why is it separated by 2 paragraphs? All right, die Wölfe holen an die Hütte. Seine Nasen sind voll von Blut, die Kühne sind erschrecken, die Damen hängen zu ihren Männern, Pferden rumpeln mit Wahnsinn und jeder Mensch kann trinken ihren Tee nicht. Was von dieser kalten Winter bringt diese Wölfe bis zu Ende? Ein Mann kann diese nicht bemalen, der Vater singt zu ihren Kindern, bleib ruhig, wir sind fest für einen Kampf. Diese ungöttliche Hündin bleibt weit von uns, ich habe mein scharfes Schwert und mein Waffen steht voll. I guess that's just about a wolf. Yeah, it's about a wolf. Imagine about like what a wolf would be if a little kid saw a wolf and the parents were just saying, hey, don't worry, we got you. Wolf. All right. This is Forest Fairy. It's about a person that I thought kind of reminded me of like a forest fairy because I don't know, they just reminded me of a forest fairy. Go at once to the nature you seek, yet you are not timid, yet you are not one to be timid or meek, finding the trees to be a resting place. You are always a bright and shining face. Carry on your spirit of nature and of life, pouring your heart and soul into this world of strife. Smiling and dancing you do with no restraint. You seem to know no knowledge of humanly hate. Fast and dashing do you go from your heart, living and caring for this world. It's a start. For the people may deny a world's future to be, yet you cannot help but be a force of good, you see. Okay. This one didn't have a name either, so I'm just going to name it Fragility, or Fragile. The fragility of your sins breaks down your maternity and ends in a madness or a lack of fraternity. Over and out you may call to yourself, yet you cannot buff this lie, especially yourself. How can I pray to you with getting nothing but delay? The lights shine on, yet I feel like it's nothing but a belay. The crystal clear skies yell out to me to be at home, and the hot summer skies tell me I'm just a no one. The crispness of the summer heat makes me feel like it is something I never can believe. The rush of the water breaks me down, makes me feel as though I am lower than a clown. The difference in life makes me feel as though I live in strife, yet I cannot but calm myself into this world with everlasting life. That's kind of a sad poem. I mean, I read the first line already, and I kind of knew where it was going, but yeah. This one's kind of, let me change the name. This one's it's called You Are. I changed the name at the bottom. All right, you are. You're the moonbeam lighting up the night sky. You're the parting in the clouds after a storm. You're the first bloom after a long winter. You're the flat horizon after treacherous waves. You're the jackpot after a million tries. You're the ace of spades and lady luck. You're the final whistle with the home team's win. You're the first green flag at the Daytona 500. You're the grand slam in the bottom of the 13th. You're the one and only muse. I just changed it to muse, but yeah, I got it. All right, let's see. Well, some of these are sad. I think this is kind of getting at the sad part. All right, the grim sound of silence. Following the trail of tears down my face leaves a spirit of hope and imagination. The clock strikes midnight in my lonesome place, for here I am, meandering through your trials and tribulations. Even then, what must a man be to be so cast down upon? Where did he get his wretched face or lack of wit? The fleeing clouds leave a wisp of the moonbeam's song. The jack-o'-lantern cackles at this poor, unfortunate twit. The shadows seem to say to him, stay where you are. The cowards will never get where they wish to be, yet the shadows make great haste in chastising you from afar. Crashing down your head are the thoughts of one who is not free. Granting you a poem, I know not what I want from you. I truly just wish I could be carried on love by you. Alas, this time is meant to pass. I just made myself look like a jackass. That was about ruined relationship. All right, so here's poetry. It has poetry 1, 2, and 3. I don't know what they're about. They're very short, though. All right, poetry 1. The wind was flowing with the aroma of the morning dew. The air cradled its babies with the utmost care. The poet took his time to admire Mother Earth's creations. The bird chirping never felt so clear and near. What sights can you see when you look up from the ground? Call that look up. Some of the poems don't necessarily rhyme, but they don't have to rhyme. Poetry 2. The fog glistened in the night with cars nearing, hurried, yet destined to always to be late. A front-end crash comes to fruition, daydreams turn to a terror of night. The autos cannot get out of the way. The wrecks leave no more words to say, not even a lonesome soul surviving in sight. Only the devil could dream of this premonition. Help is on the way, but too late for fate. Heaven is a step away. The dead are nearing. I call that haste. And the last one's just 4 lines. Je voudrais parler avec les fleurs dans les danses dans le bois, avec les arbres, marcher comme les soldats dans une guerre et boire du vin avec Dionysus. I don't know how to say that in French. Dionysus. Dion. Maybe they have their own word for it. Et boire. Which means forced. I still understand a good amount of French, but for some reason, OU kind of just threw me off because it's been so long since I've studied French. Okay, here's a cool poem. I found this website that you could look up words in any language and see what they ended in. So I just kind of went in this because I realized a lot of French and German words, they have a lot of the similar endings. Well, each language in their own language has similar endings in French, and then German has its own endings. But it's a neat little poem I came up with, or tongue twister, something like that. All right. Le petit prince de la Hanse commence une danse de la contredanse avec confiance pour une chance d'une naissance, d'une romance, dans une chance, comme une séance, dans sa manse, près de la danse en France. Yeah, okay. Didn't say that perfectly, but Le Petit Prince. But yeah, just one day I was just like, hey, what can I do with these? I noticed I was reading that Le Petit Prince, and then I noticed some words, a lot of it words ended in, even if they weren't spelled the same, like Le Petit Prince, chance, naissance, romance, trance, séance. And then the Hans is Hansia Regli, but in French. And then Danse Mans. I don't know what that means. Anyways, Près de la danse en France. Okay. Wind. This is only 4 lines, so I might not even keep it in this thing. When the wind strikes me with her mighty force, I feel compelled to ask for more, lest a divorce from nature and her connection with mankind, a relationship that's weathered the sands of time. Okay, short but sweet. All right, kurze Poem. Die Aromen machen eine Pause, die Gedanken sind endlich völlig frei. Wann der Winter kommt nach Hause, die Suppe bringt es heiß, eine Lieferung. Und wann zurückkommst nach deiner Tür, wann die Sonne glänzt nicht, dann die Welt ist wie eine gute Nachtgeschichte. Ja. So, Mons. Let's see what that means. Mons in English. French to English. Because it's going to bug me if I don't look this up right away. French to English. Mons. What is that? Dans un mons. What does that mean? Mons. No words ending with mons. Where did I get that? Dans un mons. Dans un mons. Près de la danse. Where did I get that? Oh, okay. So it's a historically described, it's an old French word, which historically described a dwelling or a farmstead. Okay. Dans un mons près de la danse en France. Okay. And the Drance is a river in France. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, there we go. I was like, I know I had to be something because otherwise I wouldn't have kept it. All right, next one is called Forest. In the Schwarzwald during the night, not a sound to be heard, not a soul in sight. The boar sound of terror. Take flight. The wind rushing past you. Dash right. This night sky no longer bright, fills with clouds fill it with gray. Oh, how you wish it was just Piglet prancing in hay. You look back just to hear a shrill shriek. It sounds like an eagle with a 30-foot beak. Tripping over a log and you hurt your knee. The beast won't care. You are the food, gifted free. Hunger and longing for something to devour. What cursed thing gave it so much rage and power? Was it the shopping malls with the buy one half off? Or could it be the apartments, an 8-story loft? What disharmony is left for the stocky, stout scavenger? For human it cares not, nor for bushels of lavender. The spanning fields of grass growing through the hills, wild mushrooms aplenty. Choose one or choose all. Now they are just buildings. If you need help, just call. Slowly the beast devours you as you moan and groan. Why must this occur to me? What seeds have been sown? Moseying along with no worries or cares until the devil set up his old wicked snares. Rush here, rush now. Traffic may stop for a moment or two. Yet this pause here is not relaxing for you. No valley sights or room with a view. It's just the bastard himself with his sharp, wicked talons, his long nose, bloodthirsty for gallons. You fight and you fight. Get off, you wicked heathen. Go back to hell you go. The power you gained is seething. God help me, as you rip off his tusk, whining and crying, the beast red as sun's dusk. Hoping and praying has got you this far. Could it be luck, or could it be from afar? What nightmarish event has left me so forcefully hurt, yet so graciously clean? Limping back home, you take a long rest, just knowing the terrors have come to do the best. Finally, once again, the night stands still. All right. And then I wrote a description because, in case it wasn't made sense, I guess, when I was writing it. But it's kind of clear. The poem is just not about a boar, and its lack of natural habitat, but also the question about God and the beast himself. I've had a lot of occurrences in my lifetime where I should have gotten in a lot of trouble and severely hurt or to an early death. Yet I've made it this far mostly unscathed. Recently I've made an effort to make a stronger effort to be godlike or holy, improving my body and mind to achieve myself fully. The subtle touches of danger never left a mark on me too serious, physically or mentally, until one night, when all seemed to be wrong, the next morning, when I was present and calm, I challenged myself to be alcohol-free. As long as I could, nothing too seriously, yet I found out I lived just fine, maybe happier. Is it the truth, or am I just lying? Is God the cause of all my savings, or is it dumb luck to the avoidance of failing? Whatever the cause may be, I'm grateful how it's turned out unto me. The last couple of weeks of my life have been the best of the best. Now I must stop rhyming and talking with rhythm. It's becoming a habit. No goodbye, silly wabbit. Silly wabbit. That was a cool one. All right, Alp. This is not my poem. This was just, I'm just going to read Alp. Okay, so it's an earlier poem. I don't remember the author's name, but it's, let's see. What is it called? Alp, German poem. It's not necessarily important to the story, but I'll take a break of reading my stuff and, it's, where is it called? Okay, Alp is it's like I knew what it was about, but I'm trying to figure out the guy's name. Characteristics. Oh, Johann August Appel. Appel. In Gespensterbuch, Volume 2, 1811. Okay, so it's a precursor to Wolfgang von Goethe's Faust. So, am Weidebusch an dem schilfigen Teich ging Martha mit ihrem Kind. Ach Mutter, was wird dein Gesicht so bleich? Was eilst du band und geschwind? Sei ruhig, mein Kind, der Wind bläst kühl. Komm, hüll in den Mantel dich warm, der Kretz ist dumpf, gib mir zum Spiel das Knäblein auf deinen Arm. Ach Mutter, hörst du die Eule schreien, wie sie krätzt? Komm mit, sei ruhig, mein Kind, bald sind wir heim, wir eilen in schnellen Schrift. Gib mir deinen Sohn, und willst du nicht, so nehme ich ihn mit mir gewahrt. Still zeichnet die Mutter des Kindes Gesicht, wird das heilige Kreuzes Gestalt. Soll ich dein Kind nicht haben, so schau, wie Alp sein eigenes dir bringt, und schnell auf dem Busche fällt sich's grau, und auf den Nacken er springt, und sie ängstet sich ein und stöhnt und keucht, gebeugt von der grässigen Last. Sie trägt bis mühsam den Hof erreicht, da sinken sie hin und er blast. Okay. It's not mine, but it was just a fun poem I had in here for some reason. Oh. Yeah. Dank. Ihr Herz ist stark, ihr Gedanke ist klar, sie denkt immer, dies ist die besten Jahr. Sie schwebt mit ihren Engelsflügeln durch die Tage mit keiner Zweifel. Wer kommt zu einem Leben wie meines? Sie sucht durch die ganze Welt, doch zurückkommt nach seinem Heimatland. Es ist verrückt, nee, waren sie lacht. Die Welt kann drehen und grau mit anderen Menschen sein, doch die Wind niemals geht hart an sie, immer freiwillig und immer mit Freude. Hier kommt ein Vogel mit seinem Lied, immer Freude. Not my best work, but, it's fun writing in German. All right, here's the poem called The Oracles. This was when I was reading Faust and kind of got inspired to write a little something, not long, but, all right, The Oracles. With their smiles almost painted on, give a sinister feel behind their pretty faces. The ball is in their court, the game is almost done, no possibility of switching with others' places. You are on your own in this cold world, one of pity and sadness, and if sadness is painted black, darkness. All right, fear. Anxiety here is called, go back to your house that is hell, for the ships are passing the doldrums, the captain is gaining full control, beating to the sound of his own drum, greatly meandering through the river Styx, anxiety is cast down upon his fallen house of bricks. Once safe and comfortable, staying indefinitely, met his downfall when the light came in, spiritually. That's about kind of defeating some anxiety that I was dealing with. But yeah. All right. A winter storm. The winter storm brings life and joy to the people up above the noise. The mountains refresh with white, overtakes the long restless nights. Uller hastes to delight the wanderers with unbounding fresh sights, stealing the worries and slipping delight into the baskets of anticipatory flight. Seeing is believing of the near forgotten season with the mountain lovers' cotton. Fields of white cling to the mountain's face. Tracks in the sky prove the everlasting grace. Long gone is the sight of the autumnal gloom, with brushed snow as Mother Nature's bloom. Cleaning house on a stormy Tuesday night, she kicks away the bare and bony blight. That was written sometime in February this year when I was in Alta, and just kind of admiring all the snow and everything. All right, so I just have just this, and then there's, I'll keep those short stories separate. So this is the last of my poems, actually. Obviously I haven't written too many. I've probably written more in the last couple weeks to a month than I have in the last 3 years, so, but yeah. All right, this last one's just called Silly Rhymes with James. The trees are flowing, the sun is showing, the grass is growing, the birds are crowing. A magical day for a walk in the park, a day to see dogs that don't bark, a day to hear the chirps of a lark, a day to lie against an old tree bark, a day for soaking in the sun, a day for just having some fun, a day to smell the succulent roses, a day for dreamy wedding proposals, a day for walking on the beach, a day for talking in your sleep, A day for walking down the street, a day for walking in your sleep. All right, so that's exactly what the title is, The Silly Rhymes with James. But yeah, I'll go ahead and make a separate video with the short stories because I have 3 short stories that I have